Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guests today are Miera Kim and Carey Bostian from Red Cedar Chamber. Thanks for being here.
It's great to be here.
Thanks for having us.
You've got a busy spring
We do.
in store. I know you've got some stuff coming up later on in the spring that's going to be a big production, but between now and then, you're kind of wrapping up a project with some concerts.
Yeah, we're in the middle of a duo program, Cultural Passport, and this is actually the third in a 3-year series of programs featuring commissioned music from around the world, inspired by folk music from around the world. And so we have 16 performances. We've done 9, and we have about 7 more.
When you go to give a concert, you guys don't mess around.
We love having multiple performances of things, and I should say Red Cedar gives world premieres so often it almost feels commonplace, but it really is exceptional that this concert has 5 world premieres on it. And not only are they world premieres, but then it's 16 performances. Some composers don't have the opportunity to have their new work performed but once, and then hopefully someone in the future might do it again. But we're having 16 performances over the course of this, so it's really a great way to live with the music and, of course, introduce something new to audiences around Eastern Iowa.
Now, of course, we've talked about this before because you said it's a 3-year project, but remind me of what the genesis of this was.
We have always loved folk music. Actually, we love all styles of music. But there was this set of Czech folk songs that Harvey Solberger set for Red Cedar in 2006. And it really stuck with us. They're just beautiful lullaby and then another one that's Flow Waters Flow, and then the Dudacka polka, right, which is, bagpipe and drums. And that really inspired us to do something and really try and get around the world. It's been an incredible learning process, and we have to imitate instruments from all over.
Yeah, we're imitating vocal styles, we're imitating plucked instruments, we're imitating
Bagpipes?
Yeah.
Bagpipes, we're imitating drums or percussive sounds. So it's been quite an adventure. Audiences always say, I can't believe your 2 instruments could make all those different sounds.
What have been some of the highlights of pieces of music or styles of music that maybe were new to you and you discovered you really loved them, or maybe you thought you knew and discovered something brand new?
I think last season, the 2 that were really challenging were a piece by Royden C. called Da Si, and it was about the Cantonese opera and making our instruments sound like erhu, and capturing the style was really challenging. And then the other one was by a Lebanese composer, and it was Zedjel, and that's a poetic tradition that features rhythm and melody. And he used a lot of microtones, so we actually had to play percussion and sing while we were playing in microtones. And that took us a long time. It's a good thing we had so many performances because you keep getting better at it. So that was those are the real challenges. I think this time around, the biggest challenge has been Shahar Mesrabe Mahur, which is actually a piece by Darvish Khan, who was a really famous Iranian classical musician from the early 19th century. And this piece has people play it. There's so many YouTube recordings, and they're all a little different. It's his form and his notes, but they interpret it differently. So our composer Kian Ravai set this or arranged it for us, trying to get us to imitate the tar or the setar, these great Persian stringed instruments. And that's, I think, been the biggest challenge
That
this time.
And another piece that's near and dear to me is there was a Korean piece based on this song Saranga, which was from the Pansori tradition of musical storytelling. And so we are both singers and percussionists in this piece, and we've really worked hard to get the style, and composer Jinan has really given us something creative and interesting launching off of this main melody, which actually means love song. But it doesn't sound like any Western love song that we would think of in romantic terms.
Miera, that's your heritage. So what was that like?
It's funny.
digging into
I
that?
was just as ignorant of it as any other culture that we've learned about through this process. So I was just happy for the opportunity to expand my knowledge.
Okay, so we mentioned Korea and Iran. What are some of the other selections?
We have 2 Vietnamese love songs. We got a lot of love songs. Those are terrific. We begin the program with Kalevala Fantasy. Kalevala is the Finnish national epic, which tells their ancient stories. And again, it's a little like the saranga, the pansori tradition in Korea, where there's pretty simple melodic material, but the narrative just goes on and on. It can, there are 5 books. And Kari Usala created a kind of a tone poem for us. It's a windswept landscape, it's snowy, and the wolves are howling. And he really describes this piece programmatically in his program note, and it's very effective. It's a great way to begin the concert. And then I think
the Vietnamese, and then
we have a piece called Raíces, which means roots in Mexican or in Spanish. And Andres Ballesteros set 4 different folk songs from 4 different regions because his grandparents, all 4 of his grandparents, each came from a different region in Mexico. And this is where we get into mariachi, and I have to sing a little bit. And there's a polka to go with our Czech polka. We have a Mexican polka and a Czech polka, and a lot of mariachi. So there's something for everyone.
And again, all with violin and viola.
Violin and cello, yeah.
Or cello, sorry.
Yeah.
16 concerts in total.
Yep.
You're about halfway through.
Yep.
What performances are coming up?
Saturday, March 8th, we're at the Marion Library at noon. That's a terrific space.
Free concert.
We have big audiences there. And then that evening at 7 p.m., we're at the Marengo Library. This is an old partnership for us, but actually renewed. We weren't going there for many years, and we've been going back. It's very successful. And then Wednesday, March 12th, in Solon at Saints Peter and Paul
That's
Chapel.
a beautiful space, visually and acoustically.
And then our final performance is March 15th at the James Theater in Iowa City. And this will be our second appearance there. And it's a really terrific space that Leslie Nolte has created. It's the old Riverside Theater. Very flexible space.
People love it because you can have a drink while you attend the show.
Congratulations on being able to squeeze in there because it's being used by a lot of different. Seems like about every other show on the Culture Crawl is. So
At
you're
the
performing.
James.
We're at the James.
Yeah. We booked pretty early, so.
And of course, minimal setup too,
Yeah.
which certainly helps.
Yeah.
Cultural Passport, the final installment.
Yeah.
Marion, Marengo, Solon, and Iowa City, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if people want tickets or more information or need to know times and things like that, they can visit your website, which is
www.redcedar.org.
I did kind of hint that you have a big thing coming up later on in the spring. You want to give us just a tease of that
teaser.
too?
This season we have 8 total world premieres, and 2 of them are by local artists who are joining us as guest artists as well. Blake Shaw, double bass, and Dan Padley, electric guitar. And both are such fine musicians, jazz musicians. And both
Great friends of ours here.
Yeah. And so they've each written us a brand new work.
Neat.
And they're very different works. And we've been rehearsing. We're going to spend a week at Johnson Steam Academy with them. And then we have about 12 shows. And
It's going to be a blast.
We have a lot to learn from them.
And we've got some jazz standards. We're playing Waltz for Debbie.
Embraceable You.
Embraceable You by the
Driftin',
Gershwins.
Herbie
Driftin' by
Hancock.
Herbie Hancock.
Yeah.
And then a piece
Love
by
that
John Rapson.
Yeah.
Oh,
because they both worked closely with
Right.
him, and it was a way to
Yeah.
honor him.
So that's coming up.
Yeah.
So
That's
we'll-
coming up in
so-
April.
So
Yeah.
we'll
chat again.
Yeah, we'll be definitely talking about that as we get closer. In the meantime, it's the final installment of Cultural Passport. Again, 4 shows, the last of which is at the James Theater in Iowa City. Visit redcedar.org if you'd like more information. Have fun.
Thank you.
We're bringing this to its epic conclusion, and we'll talk soon. Thanks for being here.
Sounds great.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
You can hear The Culture Crawl live on the radio most weekdays at 10:30, on demand at kcck.org/culture, or subscribe using your favorite podcast player. Watch our videos on the KCCK Facebook and YouTube channels. Our producer is Lydia Kilgore. The Culture Crawl theme is composed by Vivian Shanley. I'm Dennis Green, and I'll talk to you later.